What's going on, everybody? And sorry again for no face cam. Again, this was my mom's birthday weekend, so I was not in my office able to make a video with face cam, but I will be giving you highlights to not just one but both games over the weekend, the Bulls and the game against the Hawks. So our game started off in Chicago. We had Enes Kanter, who started us off with the first points of the game. He had 10 points and 11 rebounds with 4 assists in this game that we tried to win over the Bulls. Now, I don't know if you remember, but in the last video towards the end, I did say that I felt like one of these two games between the Bulls or the Hawks was going to end up coming out as a loss. Now, it's not me being negative. It's just me I don't know, just stating the facts with how everything was going with, you know, this team. You know, we don't necessarily win the games that we're supposed to win all the time. So I was just afraid that this was going to be one of those games. Look at that fadeaway shot and one by our old friend Jerian Grant as we move on to the second quarter. Now, Frank Ntilikina was very aggressive again here at the start. I just want him to be aggressive throughout the entire game, but that's a nice three there by Frank Ntilikina. KP trying to do his patent fadeaway shot, getting blocked. Fast break by Nwaba. David Nwaba. I like his game. He's one of those G League guys. Look at the highlight there with the dunk with that WGN Sports graphic. Sorry, I couldn't get anything from Madison Square Garden Network. Anyways, but here's Lauri Markkanen with a nice, easy, old school shot there in the paint. He's been a bit of a surprise this year for his first year in the league rookie campaign. Look at Enes Kanter playing defense. Robin Lopez dropping Porzingis in the background. The ref not calling a damn thing. And we are down by 7 points here at the end of the second quarter. Enes Kanter trying to put some work on Mirotic, but he gives it off to Ntilikina, who gives us the point there, ending the half. Jarrett Jack, who did not have the greatest of games here against the Bulls, but he does follow it up with a great game against the Hawks. Starting off the half there with that pass. Jarrett Jack leading the break, looking for KP, who dunks it in transition. Robin Lopez, another old friend of ours, could not keep up as KP had the whole lane to himself and nobody was going to slide over and get those dunks. Now, let's go over the quick stat line for this game real quick. We had KP, who dropped 23 points, Courtney Lee dropping 14, and we had McDermott, Ntilikina, and Kyle Quinn all with 10 points in this game. Ntilikina put on 7 assists as well with those 10 points, but he also had 4 turnovers. So it was a relatively good overall game by the team. We were losing for the majority of the game, but this is when things got interesting here at the end of the third quarter when the Bulls took back a lead with 67-65. And now we have Frank Ntilikina at the top with trying to get that last shot of the quarter, and he does as he hits that beautiful rainbow. They gave him a 3, but it looked like a 2, but whatever. It's 71-67. Now we're moving on to the fourth quarter where things started getting chippy. Now here goes Damian Dotson with the floater, tying the game at 78. Now moving over a little bit here, 81-78 the Bulls. Look at Nikola Mirotic doing what he does best. Lucky to see him not wearing a mask. I thought he would be wearing a mask because of everything that went on with his face, but good to see that he healed up pretty well. Look at that move by David Nwaba. Now I'm telling you, this guy is somebody I'm a fan of. I was glad to see him get picked up after the Lakers dropped him. Oh, but look at Enes Kanter getting hung and luckily getting the shot there, but my goodness, like you see him hit himself on the head on the way back. But we have 4.4 left on the clock, 4 minutes if to be exact, and Robin Lopez making that ugly hook shot that we were accustomed to seeing Rolo do. And now the Bulls are slowly pulling away as we're down by 9, but Kanter, this is where he gets the majority of his points, is in this quarter. And Kanter, again, is somebody that we're not accustomed to seeing play the end of games. You know, normally it's Kyle Quinn or we'll have KP at the 5. Look at Chris Dunn with that nice move there in the paint. Their lead still up big. Courtney Lee with that big steal with just one man to beat, and he does no block or foul, and he go ahead and he does get the foul there, and he makes that shot. And we have another great pass by Chris Dunn to Lauri Markkanen as they are continuing to keep the lead. Now I'm telling you, this game was very heartbreaking because it was looking like another great comeback from the team as Nwaba making a great dunk there. Now Nwaba, who's a player that I'm a big fan of, he ended the game with 15 points off the bench. Like, their bench totals were great. Him with 15, Mirotic with 19. It was just a great overall play. But look at Courtney Lee bringing it within 2 right there with 2.9 seconds left. KP getting a great look. a fantastic look, and he's not able to put it in as we lose this game against the Chicago Bulls, dropping our road record to now 1-8. And now we move over to last night's game against the Hawks. This time we are at home against another team that's not looking so good. These are two very, very bad teams that we played in a row that we should have run away with wins, but we didn't because, you know, we're still the Knicks, we're young, and we're learning without THJ, as we see that nice lay-in there by Taurean Prince. Now, the Hawks are a team I like to watch. You know, they don't win many games because they don't have a star, but they move the ball a lot like the San Antonio Spurs, just not quite like the San Antonio Spurs. KP trying to put the moves there on Schroeder, but the steal by Ilyasova. Look at the pass all the way to Kent Chance the Rapper Bazemore as he hits that transition three as we move into the second quarter. Frank Ntilikina had another solid game tonight, last night against the Atlanta Hawks. Ntilikina dropped solid 8 points in a very aggressive game. But what was more impressive was my man, everyone's favorite on this channel, Michael Beasley. But look at the moves there. Look at the ball movement. Ntilikina to O'Quinn to Dougie McBuckets. Now, Dougie was the one that put up a great performance with 23 points off of the bench. But look at Michael Beasley getting jammed on, or jammed by, whatever you wanted to classify it at. But like I was saying earlier, Michael Beasley with a very, very unique performance, as he only played 9 minutes and managed to foul out in that time. But look at KP dunking over Chance the Rapper Bazemore, and we were comfortably up by 7 points there. Now we have 3 minutes left in the quarter, and in the half we see Jarrett Jack dropping the pass there to Dougie McBuckets, who, like I said, played a great game off the bench all around. Now, what I loved about this game was we played a different lineup because, you know, the Hawks play a bit of a smaller paced game. So we had Ron Baker, Ntilikina, and Jarrett Jack all on the court at one time. I think it was closer towards the fourth quarter, so not quite yet here in the second quarter. And that was something I like to see. Not saying I want to see more of it. It was just cool to see us have that kind of a rotation and it working out well. Look at Kent Bazemore just dropping that pass off to number 18. I don't know who that is. I couldn't tell you who that is, but you know who that is? That's Mason Plumlee. I had no idea that they had Mason Plumlee on that team. And I'm sorry, Miles Plumlee, Mason Plumlee. I'm sorry. I know Mason's over in Denver. You can't keep up with all these Plumlees, all right? We had a Plumlee last year. Anyways, moving on. Jarrett Jack running the pick and roll, but it's blocked by same Miles Plumlee, and they win in transition and they weren't able to finish that play. But Jarrett Jack coming back strong, but this time we go down and we make the bucket. Kristaps Porzingis tying the game up at 61. Look at Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince has really been coming out. I mean, he gets blocked there, but he's been coming out as a very solid player for this young Atlanta Hawks team that could be a solid contributor in the future. Look at Ron Baker playing great defense there, but the pick and roll was too much as Miles Plumlee put a lot of weight on. I mean, I don't remember being that stocky. He looks really stocky now, which is why I wasn't able to recognize it. But we're moving on to the fourth quarter, where we got a lot of minutes from Frank Ntilikina and the rest. Look at that steal there, running the break. Ron Baker, don't need him, but the miss. But your boy Dougie McBuckets with the putback lay-in there to keep us up. It's 82-75. Great drive by Dennis Schroeder, who he didn't see many minutes in the fourth quarter because it looked like that they really liked what Isaiah Taylor was doing. Dougie McBuckets getting to the hoop, giving everybody what they wanted to see. Like I said, dropping 23 points. I know a lot of you guys are big fans of Dougie McBuckets, and he did a great job with that. But look at Dennis Schroeder there getting to the paint and drawing the foul. Frank Ntilikina, look at him cleaning his shoe, and we know he's going to pull up for that three. But Schroeder did not, and Ntilikina drops that three, giving us the 89-82. Now, that's the Ntilikina I want to see more of because we know the shot is there, and we know that the confidence is there. He just needs to show the aggression. KP shooting his new patent fadeaway jumper as we were running to look like we were about to win this game easily. Ntilikina with the pick and roll with KP. The option wasn't there, but he's blocked by Ilyasova. A fast break. Taurean Prince looking for nobody, and there's no one there. Here comes Jarrett Jack, who enters the game. This is the stretch I was talking about with Jarrett Jack, Ntilikina, and Ron Baker. He hits that floater there, no foul, either on offense or on defense. Now, Jarrett Jack had a great game with 19 points and 4 assists here against the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I love seeing these kinds of things happen, but at the same time, time, other than Schroeder, they don't really have a point guard that really could give us any problems. And we ended up winning this game 111 to 107. But what do you think about this weekend's play? We had back-to-backs, and in unlikely fashion, we won the game on the latter half of the back-to-back, and we lost the first game. Now, mind you, the first game was in Chicago, and we don't win very many games on the road. But to come out and then win the game at home was exactly what we needed, keeping us at 500 at 13-13. We see the Lakers on Tuesday. I'm excited to see that Lonzo Ball, Frank Ntilikina matchup. I think it's going to be fun. I'm hoping it's a game that we're going to win. It's probably going to be a very entertaining game because the Lakers, even though they're 10-15 right now, each game that they played has been very, very interesting and very fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing that when we face them on Tuesday. But let me know in the comment section below, what did we do wrong? What could we have done better in these two games that we had over the weekend? Or what was the great sign that you saw in these games over the weekend? Appreciate you guys. We hit 500 subs. I want to do something for that, but we'll talk about that in another video. Again, much love, people. Be safe. 13-13. Catch y'all later.